Yes, a few days ago, we saw all over the internet the video of where Al-Mustapha, Major Hamza Al-Mustapha, Abacha's chief CSO of the time, talking about how foreign interests are the ones orchestrating the terror under which cover they now mine solid minerals and all of that, and that we should come in patriotism to work and salvage our country and make sure that these foreigners who are here to steal, organizing all the thefts and all the crimes of terror, you know, we had to issue a rejoinder in which we titled, you know, sophistry of Hamza Al-Mustapha. You know, we dismissed what he was saying as sophistry intended to deflect attention from the real problem. That real problem being that it is the government of Nigeria led by Muhammad Buhari that is at the center of the terror we see. Anybody else participating is coming from afar. It's the government of Buhari, the federal government, that is at the center of the thefts, humongous assets, you know, thefts that we see. Particularly, you saw the one of oil and gas. Who is the Minister for Petroleum? Who is the Commander-in-Chief? If they all converge in one human body, then it must be Muhammad Buhari that, you know, we should be, as President of Nigeria, we should be holding accountable for what has happened with terror, holding accountable for what has happened with the humongous theft of assets. And so it is in that light that we want to, you know, remind Hamza Al-Mustapha that he's not talking to kindergartens. We actually consider it an insult that he will want to point us to international conspiracies from time immemorial, from the beginning of time. You know, countries and rulers go out of their, you know, immediate kingdom to seek expansion, to go and take what they can want. That was what the British went to do in India, China. That was what the Europeans went to do in America, dislodging the Native Americans. We heard about gold rush, where they were, you know, just getting rid of the owners of the land to become the new owners. That's what has become the United States. We saw the Boers in South Africa and what they've done with apartheid that made them the owners of the land. And so Napoleon Bonaparte was going everywhere trying to conquer people and take what he can find there. So it's not really strange. Even if international, you know, some kind of international actors have a stake in maintaining confusion, like we saw the French, you know, doing all across the Francophone countries of Africa, particularly West Africa, Mali and elsewhere, where we saw the Belgians in Congo. The whole commotion of Congo is that diamond has to be taken away. The owners of the land have to be put in disarray. We see it even in the further field into the East Africa. The same thing with Nigeria. Everybody will come, Shell will come, Britain and their you know, friends will come to try to take crude oil. Another person will try to come to take you know, columbite. Other people are digging gold in Niger State. But all those, you know, cannot now become the reason we will leave the local the local, not just collaborators, the local initiators of most of these thefts, resource theft we see, and the terror we see, the complicity of Buhari and his Fulani kinsmen in the terror, which is particularly the military high command over which Buhari presides as a commander-in-chief. The complicity of that commander-in-chief in all of this now is too well known to be able to evade or escape the attention of somebody like Al-Mustapha, if he wasn't on a game of sophistry to deflect attention. So we allege specifically that he was just trying to deflect attention from what the source, from where the problem really is, pointing us to the international community. Just like IBM Haruna your so-called general, was saying that it's the Americans that organize all the crimes in Nigeria, the terror and the theft of crude, that's the Americans, you know, and also rallying all of us to say, come, let us be patriotic and save her. He was trying to intimidate the media people that were Rufai on Arise TV. He was trying to intimidate them, accusing them of not being patriotic. And not patriotic to what? Which country? Which Nigeria? So we asked Al-Mustapha, because he was what he was doing was like amplifying the drowning voice of IBM Haruna, to say, oh, it's not here. All of us have to be patriotic to come to save their toxic Nigeria. That Nigeria, my allegiance and loyalty cannot be to a monster that is determined to feed on my blood. And so, who are the we he's talking about? Who are the we IBM Haruna was talking about? What is the us? What patriotism can you make out of the kind of thing that Nigeria has become for its constituent components, particularly the people from the alliance territories? So please, let us. We must begin to reduce this penchant of going around to insult the sensibilities of people, pointing us to passers-by in a matter that is flowing from the very seat of power in the theft of resources, terror in the land. We put it at the desk of the commander-in-chief and president of Nigeria. Everybody else that comes from anywhere else is just being allowed to participate. So let Al-Mustapha take his sophistry to the Marines or some nursery school where children who cannot interrogate, reside. Thank you for listening.